To make her maiden speech, Eleanor Smith.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I'm proud to address this chamber today as the newly elected representative for the people of Wolverhampton South West. Whether they voted for me or the Conservative, Lib Dem, Green or any other party, I will endeavour to represent them in this House to the best of my ability.
Well said.
I wish to pay tribute to the former MP, Rob Maris, who stood down when the general election was called. He was a conscientious and a much-liked MP. Wolverhampton is common with other cities across the UK. It has a drug problem. Drug use brings with a set of associate problems: crime, antisocial behaviour, and other social problems with addiction, broken homes, damaged people, all those in need of support from our increasingly underfunded and overworked social services. A recent BBC Three report highlighted the use of the so-called legal highs in the city, and as such, I welcome the latest legislation reclassifying these substances. However, the things most addicts need is help. They need drug rehabilitation programs to help them come off drugs. Substance abuse and addictions are problems which don't go away on their own. We need a properly funded system to help them, because if more people can access drug rehabilitation services, providing education and employment possibility, addicts can more easily find a way out of addiction and abuse. The scourge of drug use is associated with an underlying lack of opportunities for young people in Wolverhampton. We should look to Europe models of how best to do this, rather than reach for the American-style punitive solution, which only drives the problems into our prisons, where they become an epidemic before they return hardening drug users back onto our streets, to become another thing our hard-pressed NHS staff and police officers have to deal with. I will now talk about my Wolverhampton itself. Wolverhampton South West constituency was created in 1950. It is a repeated marginal and one of 3 constituencies covering the city of Wolverhampton. Within its boundaries is the retail and business core of the city centre, Banksy's Brewery, universities, schools, and the Molineux Stadium, home of Wolverhampton Wanderers. And please God, may I say that right. The largest employer in Wolverhampton is local government. The constituency fans out from the city centre to include the western and southern western parts of the city. Wolverhampton South West is a microcosm of the modern Britain, a jigsaw of places, names and postcodes. It's a bellwether of constituencies moving from Tory to Labour, with shifts in the economic and political moods. There are huge inequalities of income. There are rich, poor, privileged and underprivileged. Living only a few miles apart, there is a diversity of culture: white British, Asian British, West Indian, Africans, Eastern Europeans and Kurdish, each with their own faith: Muslims, Sikhs, Buddhists, Hindus and Christian, which is one of my strong faith. Although Wolverhampton South West has only been in existence for 67 years, it has a surprisingly rich political history, one which is relevant today. It is known by some associated with Enoch Powell, its first MP from the 1950s until 1974. Powell's inflammatory Rivers of Blood speech in 1968, warning of civil unrest if immigration went unchecked, was set there. Its second MP was Nicholas Budgeon, known as one of the Maastricht rebels in his first mooted the idea of a referendum on the European single currency and opposed all further integration with Europe. But it was in 1997 that Labour won the seat for the first time, and that continued until 2010, when Paul Uppal, a prominent Sikh businessman, won it back for the Conservative. It is a testament to the people of Wolverhampton South West that their actions at the ballot box demonstrated how far they came from the racial legacy of Enoch Powell by electing a Sikh MP, and now they have taken another historical step forward by electing the first black woman in the West Midlands to Parliament. In electing me, a nurse from a working class background, a trade unionist and a first-generation immigrant, the people of Wolverhampton South West are saying they want to change. They are saying they liked the Labour manifestos. They've had enough of austerity. They don't want any more cuts to the public service. They want a proper funded education and social services, protecting the old and caring for the weakest in our society. They said, give us a Brexit that works for all. And the young people said, give us something that we can improve our lives, give for the future, and give us hope. And they all said, save our NHS. I hope I will be able to play my part in the coming years in making a difference in my constituency to the youth unemployment and homelessness. This is a blight of our society. Wolverhampton has one of the highest jobless rates for 16 to 24-year-olds. According to the studies published in 2016, youth unemployment in Wolverhampton was 27%, amongst the highest in the country. I pledge to work with all those in Wolverhampton who want to see and help and care for those who have dropped through the increasingly threadbare safety net this country offers. The other issue which I will be involved with are those I've been working all my whole life, 40 years in the NHS. I'm working for the conditions of the low-paid workers. The one-line government statement on the NHS in Her Majesty's gracious speech was short on detail, with no real ideas on how to improve the NHS and to rescue it from the positions they'd put it in. It would be bad enough if the results were merely ignorance and mismanagement, but it isn't. It's the results of the policies that have been pursuing for the last years, 7 years altogether. This government should read the recent Labour Party's manifestos to learn what the NHS urgency means. It's all in there: investment, planning, education and training, and much more. I need to say something else as well. A statement about a row that has broken out concerning my comments about a black country flag created in 2012 after a competition organised by the Black Country Living Museum. This flag has a link of chains as its primary image. I have had concerns about the connotations of this image for two reasons. First, its historical association with the foot slave trade. Second, whether this should be the only brand image for the black country. An article appeared in the local press saying I thought the flag was racist and should be scrapped. My comments had been taken and out of proportion, misrepresented. I believe in a free press, but their reporting must be done responsibility, in a fair and honest way. I have received many abusive messages, and I'm on the receiving end of the kind of threatening behaviour which many of my colleagues in this House have received and recently discussed. And I've learned the hard way how difficult it is being an MP. But on a much better note, I am proud of the social culture and industrial and economic heritage of Wolverhampton and the wider black country. I'm proud of the contribution made by the black country's industry to begin the Industrial Revolution, which revolutionised the lives of people all around our planet. Above all, I'm proud of the tolerance, equality and social cohesion which the people in the black country and Wolverhampton South West and the wider UK enjoy. As a Member of Parliament, I will endeavour to work to promote and elevate these great aspects of the people of Wolverhampton South West and the black country. I stand by them and for them. Thank you for allowing me to speak today, Madam Deputy Speaker. I commend this speech to the House.
Yeah.